you something. My fundamental life philosophy is simple. One new skill will change your life. And I used to think that I had to move to a new city, state, country. I used to think that maybe when I got to this point in my career, when I achieved this level of education, that my life would be different. What I discovered, quite by accident, is that it was the skills I learned along the way that were transformative from the inside out. It was the skills that I developed that made life unique. Skills like discipline, communication, leadership, learning, curiosity. Yes, curiosity is a skill. Uh, and sales. That's an important one for anyone at any career level, any life level. When I say one new skill will change your life, I want you to think about this. What if you learn the skill of sales? What if you learn to turn conversations into clients? What would that do to how quickly you get hired? Right? We're convincing an employer, hey, I am the best person for this role. What does that do for your dating life? Your romantic interest sees your confidence, the clarity that you share ideas, that you articulate emotions because you've been practicing sales. Now you're living happily ever after. What does your business look like? Now we're focusing on profit and revenue, not just surviving, but thriving. One new skill can absolutely transform your life. So while New Skills, New You focuses on personal and professional development, on those soft skills that are sometimes forgotten or neglected, the most requested skill we get is sales. And it makes sense. That impacts your revenue, impacts your intention, changes how you hire, it changes how you raise. Whatever skill you choose, I'm giving you permission, I'm empowering you to say you have control over changing your life. You have control over where you end up tomorrow. You have the ability to transform your future. This isn't a motivational speech, although I hope it inspires you to take action and to change. But it's also a reminder that you don't have to wait for someone else to change the situation your situation is in. You don't have to wait for something to happen for you to have the results you want. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some effort, and you may need to ask for help along the way. If it's sales skills, we'd love to help you. We have training programs and books as well to help you along the way, to help you get there a little faster, a little smoother. Check out askingbetterquestions.com. Get a copy of Better Questions, Better Clients to start your journey. Whichever direction you choose, whether it's a musical instrument, working on the bass guitar myself, I grew up learning piano, whether it's learning to cook, man, what would learning to cook do for your life? You learn to cook, you save money, maybe you end up debt free because you're more efficient with how you spend on food. Maybe you're healthier. Maybe someone, I have friends that are pre-diabetic, right? If I could teach them to cook and prepare tasty meals that are healthier for them, and now their insurance, their medical deductibles are lower. Now they're spending more time with their family and friends. Now they're happier in their body. Those are just some examples. But when I created New Skills, New You, even though we focus on sales skills, we're not going to stop there. I really believe if you grow your people, you grow your business. But not just a business, but every aspect of their lives is transformed. So when I say new skills, new you, that's what we're talking about. When I say one new skill will change your life, that's what we mean. Now, the skill we've chosen to focus on for this year is asking better questions. I realize questions influence how we think. Questions influence how we make decisions. Questions influence every conversation we have. Maybe you've been on a date and it just went terrible. It was probably because they didn't ask very good questions. Maybe they needed to grab one of our programs. If you ever had a conversation that went nowhere, that's probably because of the questions that were asked or not asked. If you had a meeting that just felt completely unproductive, one of those, it could have been in emails, it probably was because of questions that were asked. So the skill I'm working on this year is simply asking better questions. I believe when you ask better questions, your conversations change, and conversations drive connections. Connections create that intimacy and understanding. So now our negotiations are easier. Now our relationship with our spouse, with our kids, with our coworkers, with our friends, even with our neighbors. I hope your neighbors are your friends, but if they're not, try asking better questions. Get to know them a little better. I believe if we can ask better questions, every area of our life can be improved. And so that's the skill, that one new skill that would change your life. For me, right now, it's asking better questions. Now, I also ask them to myself inwardly, right? So introspection, self reflection. It changes how I plan, how I strategize. It forces me to pause and reflect. Would I make that decision again? How will this decision affect tomorrow, affect next week, next month, next year? Are the actions I'm doing today helping to create a life I want tomorrow? And so as I dive deeper and deeper and deeper, I realize that questions really can shape our identity as well. And that's living proof that one new skill will truly change your life. So it's not a cliche, it's not a mantra, it's not trite, it's not a frig matching or a bumper sticker you put on your car. When I tell you one new skill will change your life, I want you to take that as an opportunity to choose the life that you want. I want you to take the opportunity to build the business that you want. And if I can help you along the way, you know how to reach me.